Hello YouTube, this is Morgan Airspeed Prime here with my next Avatar news update, and it's quite a big one here, both in terms of number of things that I have to cover from the last couple of days, as well as at least the significance of one piece of news here. And we'll start off with that, and that is that Lauren Montgomery, out of nowhere, tweeted and posted up this link to the Viacom CBS, jobs listing, basically. Avatar Studios is looking for character designers. Follow the link to apply. So why would she specifically, post this unless she also is working for Avatar Studios? It made sense in that, I think she was a very obvious person that you feel like, yeah, they're going to get Lauren Montgomery on board to, show run one of the projects or whatever. Now, if you look into this, you can see that her LinkedIn actually does say director at Avatar Studios, so it is confirmed that she is back on Avatar. Because of course she worked as, I think, storyboards on ATLA, and then was in a higher role, I think, like producer on Korra. So her returning here to Avatar to be a director is a really cool thing to see, because again, Avatar Studios is planning to really heavily expand out the franchise and have multiple projects potentially on the go at the same time. So Mike and Brian aren't going to be able to do the role that they did on Avatar and Korra for multiple projects at the same time. They're going to have to take a little bit of a step back and have more of a, I suppose, supervisory role, maybe focus in on some projects more than others, meaning that they need people in the positions that they used to be in on the show. And someone like Lauren Montgomery, who does have experience from show running Voltron, Legendary Defender, is perfect because she worked on both shows, and then went off and did her own show that was successful. So coming back here feels absolutely perfect and ideal. So that leads us into, I suppose, what she posted. And again, if you just look up Viacom CBS, the kind of careers page, and just type in Avatar, you'll see that they have 4 listings for Avatar Studios specific positions. I think 2 of them I covered already, the motion capture one and then the look of picture technical director. The new ones are production manager and character designer, which is what Lauren posted. So production manager here, again, the first thing is usually quite general. Daily activities of the production, and again it just goes through all the sort of standard details of what the job actually is. So this one I don't think specifically mentions too much about the specific details of Avatar. The character designer one is a bit more interesting because it says have tight draftsmanship to match and further develop the existing art styles of the Avatar / Legend of Korra series. The design should resonate and help enhance storytelling by developing the look, costuming, personality, and feel of the characters. Working from the descriptions and our scripts to receive and understand character design assignments from the creative team, develop various posing and or versions of the characters in the show style. Infuse characters with personality, visual cues, color, unique expressions, in a style that aligns with the established show style and is inspired by the shape and language and appeal found in feature quality Japanese animation. So for anyone wondering that with this switch to the movies going to be in CG, and then we found out that it's going to be a kind of combination 2D, 3D look, this makes it abundantly clear. Character designer, really key position. They are trying to match the style of Avatar and Korra, but they're also trying to develop an animation style that I guess will allow them to do that level of kind of look slightly more effectively across multiple projects, rather than it just being 2D and it being the longest production in the world. So that will be really interesting to follow, but it further helps to just ease that kind of feel of, no, they're going to try and really make this Avatar. It won't be that all these projects are going to look completely different. They're really trying to specifically match Avatar and Korra, and it says that multiple times throughout this. So that is really cool to see. And of course, I guess there'll be a lot of Avatar fans, artists applying for this. So that's going to be cool to see who kind of gets it, who who designs what ultimately. So for the most part, that's all there really is to say about the Avatar Studios style of thing. I know we knew there was someone else revealed, I think, for Avatar Studios on the podcast, the Brave and the Elements podcast. They had someone on. It was more or less like, what was the position? It was about sort of representing certain cultures correctly in the series. So it just highlights that they do actually have quite a few people at Avatar Studios. I make the joke that like, oh, we only knew about 5 people, but there's obviously tons of people that are already at work at Avatar Studios. It's just that until they come out and like say I'm working for Avatar Studios, it's like you don't get much of a sense for what has actually happened because we've not seen any result of Avatar Studios just yet. So that is that. That leads us into this next piece of news, which is that finally the Edelweiss listing for Legend of Korra Patterns in Time has gone up, and you'll notice there are preview pages. I'll get into them in a second. But that the date is 7th of June. This is 100% confirmed to be the date change here on Patterns in Time. Even Dark Horse have updated it to June 8th. So it's June 7th for standard retail, June 8th for comic book stores. Unfortunate because the previous date was kind of ideal, but that has been what's happened. So, there's not a lot extra to really say here. I was hoping that they'd maybe say something extra in the selling points, but it just says Legend of Korra Short Story Collection, all new stories from a variety of creators, which is not really true, because if you look at the preview pages, it's like, oh look, Friends for Life. Oh look, Lost Pets. Oh look, Clearing the Air. So, it confirms that the 3 Korra Free Comic Book Day books that have been released prior to this year and this upcoming Free Comic Book Day book are going to be out. I know there's now the situation where technically this year's free comic comes out before Patterns in Time, whereas before it was the other way around. I really don't think there's a chance that, or maybe there is, I don't know. They might do it differently because they have it planned out a little bit better. So there's maybe a chance that this year's book is in there. I just don't think it'll work that way. Probably because the date change is more of a, fitting in when they can actually get the book printed thing rather than the completion of the book itself. So the previous April date, which it was announced with, probably was what they were trying to hit. And one of the selling points on the Free Comic Book Day book is that it is exclusive for Free Comic Book Day, at least for a little bit. So that's just 100% confirmation for anyone wondering. The reprints for the Free Comic Book Day books are in Patterns in Time. For me, that is a selling point just by itself. Because, say, Friends for Life and Clearing the Air just on its own, I want, them in a big book. So I don't have to rely on having the sort of, floppies that I got from Free Comic Book Day. And then I wasn't actually able to get the Lost Pets issue on that Free Comic Book Day. So, it'll be cool to have that. And just help the collection of just like actually having a physical copy of like all the Korra stories and stuff like that. So that is cool to see. So that's that. Then, this is a pretty significant product announcement. Avatar The Last Airbender 2023 Collector's Edition Wall Calendar. 13 watercolor illustrations plus bonus print. So they are doing another calendar. This is Abrams Books. This was a kind of significant release last year, the 2022 calendar. I did a video on it. And obviously the significance of it was that they have the Kyoshi cover artist doing the art for all of these. And that is the case again. Illustrations by Jung Shan. So that's really, really cool to see. So 13 watercolor illustrations and a bonus print. So they're doing the print again. That's nice to see. Make it the collector's edition thing. 13 exclusive watercolor illustrations of its most beloved characters, including Aang. Okay, main character. Kind of had to do something like that. But then the next 4 are very interesting. Karuk, Yue, Kyoshi again, and Yang Chen. So Aang and Kyoshi are very obvious, especially coming from this artist, franchise main character, and then the character that she's sort of most known for. But like Karuk, Yue, and Yang Chen getting the spotlight on a calendar is actually quite significant because, you know, say what you will about, you know, Korra and Yang Chen being past avatars, but they're relatively minor in the grand scheme of the franchise, and that there's a lot of the main cast of ATLA, Korra, and so on that, you know, people know a little bit better in a way to some degree. So I'm super excited. Karuk's getting a chance in the spotlight, especially because he had such a kind of significant impact on the second Kyoshi novel. Yue is interesting just because, again, so many characters you'd say are more main ahead of her in the series, but nice that she's going to get the chance here. I'm wondering, will they do like Yue Moon Spirit or just Princess Yue from the show? Kyoshi again. I'm interested to see how the new art here is, and then Yang Chen. Nice to see her getting a month on the calendar. So the only other stuff to say here is the bonus print with Aang watercolor illustration. So the print is going to be Aang, and then it does really specify here 12 new illustrations created especially for this character. And while I think the previous calendar didn't feature like every single piece of art that she's done for like the Blu-ray sets and stuff like that, I don't think any of them actually feature Karuk or Yang Chen or Yue. So it confirms at least a bunch of these. Most of them will be new pieces of art. So it's coming out 23rd of August 2022. Makes sense. It's a calendar. It's always going to come out in the final few months of the year because it does feature a page that will feature September, December this year as well. So if you do have this year's calendar as well as the next year calendar, you know, you'll have two calendars up, I suppose, for Avatar. Next, the Previews World listing for the free comic book day book has gone up. I was waiting for this to happen. It finally did. There's no extra information. They still have the kind of unfinished, not final cover. At least we have some sense of the cover. The main significant thing here is it confirms the creative team. So Kicking Shoes are doing art and then the cover art. So that I think confirms that they are doing the Avatar story because they do the Aang on the cover. So it likely means they're doing the interiors for Aang. That's a creative team of artists. So then you also have this art by Meredith McLaren. That means she likely is doing the art on the Korra side of the book, and she's also writing, I guess, the Korra story as well. So it means the only thing we really need to find out is who the writer is on the Aang story. Otherwise, I think we know our creative team here. So that's something we didn't really know until much later on with the previous year's book, but we actually know what's going on this time. So it says in shops April 13th. Of course, Free Comic Book Day is May 7th. I think it's just that they do get the books in that far in advance just to prepare for the event because it's a lot of comics that they're going to be giving out. So that's that situation. Next, this is more kind of rumors, but Fortnite could be getting the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So it's a rumor from an Xbox podcast. The person says the source told him that Paramount has signed with Epic Games to bring its properties to Fortnite. The main one I'd heard about was TMNT, but because it's about properties, its properties, Paramount's properties, and if they're going for TMNT, which is a Nick property, why not the other Nickelodeon properties? So as is noted sort of here, could be SpongeBob, could be Avatar, Korra. Obviously, the rumor specifically here is about TMNT. But if they're doing TMNT, I can't see there being too much of a restriction on getting Avatar in eventually. I know there's a bit of a weirdness surrounding like, ooh, Squidward with an assault rifle, Aang with an assault rifle. But I think Fortnite is so big, it is so well known, and is so regarded as not being sort of a violent shooter, even though it is a shooter, that I don't think there should be too much of a problem from just doing the sort of, you know, marketing, crossover with Fortnite. So again, it's just to say that it's a possibility. And usually with Fortnite, a lot of these rumors do end up coming true, and that the Naruto stuff was rumored for ages. It happened. I did a video of it. And if we do get to Avatar and Fortnite, I'll be doing another video on that for sure. So that's that. And then that just brings us into if with the Kickstarter, Magpie Games, if the kind of schedule holds, we should probably be expecting the January update maybe later on today. They haven't said anything teasing it or anything, but the expectation should be that update 23 should be today. They've done it the sort of like, second Wednesday of the month each time recently. Wednesday is the day they do their updates, so that's when we are expecting it. Now, January update is going to be pretty significant because, of course, January is what the campaign still says is the expected date that we get the PDF, the final PDF of the book. Now, the previous update did sort of change it a little bit in that they say you'll be able to play the full game in early 2022, PDFs very soon. Are they changing it from January to early 2022? Because everything that they've said in all the updates have got across that the writing of this book is on schedule and that the physical stuff is being delayed because of printing issues, not because they're struggling to actually finish the book. So this update should be telling us that, we are going to send out the PDF at this point in January, unless there's some sort of delay. So there's either going to be a delay, which I think they deserve to be criticized for waiting this long to say that the PDF has been delayed as well, or we're just going to find out when we're actually getting it. So that's the significance of the January update, is like, it'll really get across like how soon or not we'll experience the new material that this book has to offer. So keep an eye on this for when they do the update. I'll try and do a video on it when it happens, if anything significant happens. But yeah, I think that's been basically all of the news. There might have been some smaller stuff that kind of slipped through the cracks. But yeah, Lauren Montgomery, part of Avatar Studios. That's really good to know. Confirmed Patterns in Time is delayed to the 7th of June, but we now know the 3 free comic book day books at least are going to be reprinted in it, so that's good. 2023 calendar confirmed. Abrams Books, I suppose, announcing a new product. It's not quite the sort of Chronicles of the Avatar Book 3 thing that we were expecting, but at least they're announcing new stuff. Some slight new information on the Free Comic Book Day 2022 book in terms of the creative team. Potentially Avatar Fortnite in the future, but TMNT first. And then expected Kickstarter update soon. So let me know what your thoughts are on all of these pieces of news. But that has been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.